Is your dog slowly dying? Every day, hundreds of well-meaning pet owners make a trip to the vet to be informed that, by complete accident, they are the ones to blame. From where you put their water bowl to what treats you give them, so many seemingly innocent things could, without you knowing it, be walking your dog to an early grave. To help save the lives of dogs around the world, we've prepared this video on 10 different mistakes that many dog owners unknowingly make. So what are they? Perhaps you've been in this situation before. Your pup is panting after a day out in the park, but they barely touch the water bowl. If they are obviously dehydrated, why are they giving that water bowl a wide circle? Drinking not enough water can cause serious kidney issues and urinary tract problems for your pup. So how do you get your pooch to actually enjoy it? First off, did you know that some dogs are water bowl divas? That's right. Some dogs don't like drinking water if it's too close to their food, an old instinct telling them to avoid potentially contaminated water. So even if it makes sense from an organization perspective to keep all the dog things in one corner of the room, if you notice the water bowl isn't getting much love, try moving it a bit further away from the food bowl. And hey, why stop at one? Spread the hydration joy by placing multiple water bowls in different spots around the house. Rawhide is exactly what it says on the tin. It's the skin, or hide, of an animal that hasn't been through the tanning process that would turn it into leather. You might have heard people refer to rawhide bootlaces or baseball gloves, but real rawhide isn't that flexible once it's been dried, so these things are actually just made of normal leather. So what about those bone-shaped toys you see lining the shelves at the pet store? Yep, those are the real deal. Genuine rawhide, made from layers of tough, chewy skin. Sure, they might seem like a great way to keep your dog entertained, but there's a catch. Literally. Some dogs get so into the chew that they can actually break a tooth. But wait, it gets worse. If your dog manages to gnaw off a chunk of that rawhide and swallows it, you might be in for an even bigger problem. Rawhide doesn't break down easily in a dog's stomach, so those pieces can get stuck, sometimes in the esophagus or even further down the digestive tract. And when that happens, you're looking at a potential blockage that could require emergency surgery to remove. So, while your pup might love the idea of chomping down on rawhide, the risks can far outweigh the benefits. Speaking of things that damage your dog's teeth, is your pup remembering to brush theirs every night before bed? Obviously, dogs can't actually brush their teeth, let alone floss afterwards. But dogs can develop tooth problems if they go too long without cleaning, just as humans can, and it goes beyond just a bad case of dog breath. If you've ever had a toothache, you'll know that it can be agonizingly painful. But did you know that dogs and people can actually die from having a rotten tooth? An infection in a tooth can easily get into the bloodstream and then spread to the rest of the body. This is so prevalent in our pups that scientists have discovered that just brushing your dog's teeth regularly can increase their life expectancy by as much as 3 years. So how do you convince your dog to brush their canines? There are a couple of options. Some dog treats are especially formulated to clean a dog's teeth while they crunch them up. You can also buy dog toothpaste. Never give human toothpaste to your dog, and smear it over one of your pup's chew toys to get the same effect. If you've ever tried to keep up with your dog when they're running full pelt, you'll know that it's essentially impossible. The average dog can run up to 20 miles an hour, while the average human can only manage the measly 12. It can feel a bit unfair then, to have them constantly tethered to us slow, lumbering humans whenever they're out and about. A lot of people choose to let their dogs go off leash for a bit and have a proper run, assuming that it's perfectly safe so long as they're trained to come back when called. But the dangers of letting a dog off the leash aren't just limited to them getting lost. Dogs are very curious and always open to a snack, even if those snacks aren't always good for them. If your dog picks up the wrong piece of human food on the street, then it could cause them major health problems, and you'd have no way of knowing the cause. By far, the most famous of all the traditional dog treats is the bone. You'll find patterns of them on everything from dog blankets to collars, and if you go into any pet store, you can buy rubber bones that make a squeaky noise when they're chewed on, or dog biscuits that are shaped like bones. So you might be surprised to learn that real bones are not a good treat to give your dog. When a dog tries to eat a bone, what they're actually trying to do is use their teeth to crack it open and get at the meaty marrow inside. This biting can cause shards of bone to break off and potentially end up causing a blockage in your dog's digestive system, or worse, perforating their intestines with their sharp edges. If you must give your dog bones, however, then make sure that they aren't cooked. Cooked bones are more prone to splintering than raw ones. Speaking of things that dogs shouldn't eat, you've probably noticed that your pup takes an active interest in your dinner. Dogs love human food and will resort to everything from actual theft to criminal cuteness in order to get a bite. The problem, however, is that some human foods are not very good for your dog. This especially goes for foods like chocolate, garlic, and chewing gum, which are actively toxic to dogs. But there's also a less obvious problem with feeding your pooch under the table. Dogs are designed for a diet of mostly meat, meaning a lot of protein, but not as much fat and salt. Human food, meanwhile, often has tons of fat and salt in it. As a result, eating too much of it can make a dog dangerously overweight. Obviously, everybody knows that dogs need to go on walks, but how often and for how long? Some owners make the mistake of assuming that just taking the dog along when they go down the street for a coffee is enough to keep them fit. But that's not the case. A dog should ideally get one walk of 30 minutes a day, or 2 walks of 15 minutes. And that's on top of playtime at home or in the park. On to the unexpected dangers inside your home. Dogs can be messy, and sometimes those mud stains and pee patches might require some extra strength cleaning products. But be careful, dogs don't understand that some cleaning products are dangerous and likely won't hesitate to walk over that still wet patch of bleach or carpet cleaner on the floor, potentially causing chemical burns on their poor little toe beans. Fortunately, there are a lot of effective cleaners on the market that are designed with pet safety in mind. But if you really have to use bleach to get rid of that stubborn stain, then make sure to lock your dog out of the room until everything is dry. Durable, light, and seemingly easy to clean bowls are the best. But here's the rub. They are usually made of plastic that over time will become etched with micro scratches, a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. As a result, your unsuspecting pooch may face off with a buffet of bacteria at every meal. Opt for stainless steel or ceramic bowls instead, as they don't have these problems. Dogs don't just fear loud noises, they feel them. Imagine this. Your pup, lounging in their favorite sunspot, is suddenly jolted by the explosive sound of a door slamming or the thunderous roar of a blender. Their heart races, their stress levels spike. And if this is the daily drumbeat of your home, it's not just their peace that's being shattered, it's their health too. Chronic stress in dogs, much like in humans, can lead to a cascade of health issues, from a weakened immune system to behavioral problems. They might start over-grooming, leading to bald patches, or they might turn their anxiety towards aggression or withdrawal. Does your dog sleep a lot with their belly up, completely exposed, or curling up into a tight little ball by your side? Stick around to discover what your dog's favorite sleeping spot says about your dog's emotions towards you.